Which has a greater effect on culture, technology itself, or the status that one possesses within the community through the use of technology? Technological advancements shape our society and are crucial for human survival. But with the sudden rise in advertisements and marketing strategies in the recent years, many now search to purchase the feeling and status associated with owning a technological product, such as a mobile device, rather than purchasing the product for its use value. Even though technology and new media are significant components in our society, the status that one possesses through the use of specific technologies has a greater impact on culture. This video essay will delve deep into the strong correlation that the cultural network of technology has upon community. Technology has heavily impacted the community and culture in which we currently live. Through increased communication, transportation, efficiency, as well as comfort and convenience, technology is undeniably a necessity. Through this, it is hard to disconnect oneself from technology. However, technology now, more so than ever before, is used to elicit emotion and social connection. Individuals, myself included, would prefer to use a mobile device in order to form a connection rather than to interact with humans face to face. According to Sherry Turkle, I glance at my watch to sense the time. I glance at my iPhone to get a sense of my life. This emphasizes that mobile devices are more than just technology. They represent a community, an all-encompassing friend, or the tethered self. The tethered self packs in a lot of meaning. This double meaning can be referred to as an animal attached to a rope and thus limiting the animal's movements, or it can be referred to in a technological sense, in that we as individuals form connections with all of our devices. We choose what technology to purchase and then use based off of how we want our image to circulate within the public sphere. According to Fredric Jameson, the technology of contemporary society is therefore memorizing and fascinating, not so much in its own right, but because it seems to offer some privileged representational shorthand for grasping a network of power and control, even more difficult for our minds and imaginations to grasp. This point illustrates how it is the power and status within a community attached to technology that we crave, rather than the technology itself that motivates people in buying these products. When purchasing commodities such as cars or mobile devices, we tend to desire the best of the best. But what constitutes the superiority of one product over another? Let's take cars, for example. Every car that is on the market currently allows you to go from point A to point B. But consumers tend to want more than just simply the necessary components that a car provides. As a result, consumers desire the type of extravagancy attached with a luxury car purchase. Although no one actually needs a Mercedes-Benz to get them where they want to go, people will still purchase them, as well as similar kinds of luxurious cars, in order to convey a high perception of themselves to others. The same is true for mobile devices. The status symbol attached to owning an Apple product is significantly higher than that of any other electronic brand or company. But the difference between owning an Apple product and owning a high-end car is that the status from owning an Apple product does not put you above anyone, but rather puts you alongside everyone else, similar to being on an equal playing field. Therefore, only one notices you as being lesser than them when you don't use an iPhone, and considers you equal to them when you do. Due to the Apple products being of lesser value than Mercedes-Benz, they're viewed as a more necessary technology to have in order to fit in with the rest of the community. It is not specifically the technological usefulness of Apple products that make them so desirable, but it is more so their position as a status symbol within the community that allows one to fit in with the rest of society and not be seen as lesser or an outcast. According to a study conducted by the British Psychological Society, one's choice of mobile device is a major indicator of their personality type. The results of the study found that those who strongly cared about impressions and status symbols in their life were more likely to be iPhone users, while Samsung users tended to be more introverted people and viewed others' perceptions of them as less important. This serves to show that one typically buys an iPhone not just for Apple's advanced technology, because Samsung arguably has very similar products and performance, but rather because of the allure associated with owning an iPhone and having others be aware of you owning it. Consequently, the facts that are irrelevant to consumer and the consumer's superior perception outweighs superior products. Thus, the perception of the product or brand is the most important factor when purchasing technologies, regardless of whether or not it actually supplies the best performance on the market. The strongest reason as to why we feel the need to own these high-end technological products is because of the way they are marketed to us. In today's society, advertisements, branding, logos, and many other marketing strategies constantly surround us. We have become so used to having them incorporated in our daily lives that we aren't always aware when we see them. However, regardless of whether or not we consciously make the connection between the advertisements that we see and the product at hand, we nevertheless take in the message that is being conveyed and associate some sort of emotion with it. This feeling that we gain from constant interaction with advertisements and brands, although it may only last a short while, lingers with us and interacts with us while we are shopping. One envies the status that others have achieved through technological purchases, not necessarily the technology itself. Thus, in order to create a more positive outcome, a single user/person in the community should buy brands, mobile devices, etc., that are based on their preference, not on what they think the community prefers. Diversity is vital in order to change this mentality within culture and community. If change does not occur, the main cultural risk will be the limited amount of growth within communities. With every member doing the same thing, then the same way of thinking will be fostered and promoted, leading to limited advancements. We buy types of technology for their use value, but we choose a specific brand for the glamour. Technology that we use in a contemporary setting is not chosen because of what they do, but instead because of what they say about us. Having the right and known types of branding, such as Apple products, is necessary in order to acquire a high status within a community. Although technology majorly impacts society and humans cannot exist without it, communities have created a bigger emphasis on the brand we choose to use rather than what the product performs. The cultural capital associated with certain brands of technology is a driving factor behind the societal and cultural importance, not of technology itself, but instead of the status gained by possessing such technology.